Don't forget, if you like Dice Tower News, check out our podcast, Dice Tower Now, co-hosted by Corey and Camilla, and that comes out weekly with all sorts of different news that's out. We cross-pollinate here. Let's take a look at some of the news. First, we got a bunch of games. We have Pegasus Spiel is coming out with Memo Mission. Say that 5 times fast.
Memo Mission, Memo Mission, Memo Mission, Memo Mission, Memo Mission.
Demolition.
Memo Mission, Demolition, Demolition Man. Why'd you
Anyway,
freeze me? What are the 3 seashells?
What are they?
It says age 6+ on there, so this looks to be a kid's game where you're flipping over a bunch of tiles to get crystals. It looks like there might be a little bit of memory in it. I'm not 100% sure.
Last time you trusted a game that included the word memo in the title, though. They're all memory games. It's, you know it's going to be a memory game.
I agree.
Okay, I know this is really dumb, but this is the first time I put that together.
Really? That's always a thing. If it says memo anything, it could literally be like pandemic, memo atrocities. I'm like, no.
Memo atrocities.
You know what? My entomology is not always on board, but that's what the memo comes from memory. I'm just putting this together now.
I'm happy to
I
help,
write a
Tom.
memo to help my memory.
Yeah.
Isn't entomology the study of bugs?
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm all on board with this. What is the study of words? You don't know.
Wordology.
Wordology.
It sounds like entomology, though. That's the problem. Oh, come on.
All right,
I know this word.
We'll go to the next one. We got
no Googling.
Just put it on an English version of Splitto from 25th Century is releasing next week. So this is coming. Share everything. I saw Chris. Chris was actually playing this 2 days ago and told me it was a lot of fun.
Etymology, that's right.
Etymology.
Etymology.
That's what you said.
The etymology of a word. Yes, thank you. Entomology.
Well, what is the study of bug words?
The etymology of entomology.
Got it. Thank you. No, you don't have to say the and of. It's just the 2 words in a row.
Etymology, entomology.
I love it. That's the name of my new show.
Say that 5
times. That'd be a really boring show. You know, beetle.
Where did the word beetle come from? All right. Anywho, Splitto coming next week. Also from 25th Century, Muttonbusting. So Muttonbusting, this is a great name of a game here.
Oh,
the artwork looks very.
That's great.
The artwork looks very Hanna-Barbera.
It really
is.
Dun, 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 dun.
So the art is Ed Ville. I'll have to look up that and see what other art they've done.
New favorite artist.
Anyway, you're bronco busting at the. Wait, why did they sound? This is about bronco busting. Oh, this is mutton busting. Okay, so it's like bronco busting, but you're riding a sheep. This is for those of us who can't ride a cow.
I could probably do a sheep.
A bull.
Sheep would not be happy, but
a bronco's a horse, by the way. I mean a cow.
Is it
Did I say bronco?
Bronco.
Yeah, man.
You're right. They don't ride cows. They run from the bulls. They ride the broncos.
Bronco busting? Cows, you know, bulls.
All right,
bulls.
Look.
Your word entomology today is.
I need to get a little counter here, like so many minutes since Tom has last screwed up a word.
Set something off. That's great.
It's 0. Hang on.
That's good.
Let me get through a couple more slides there. Anyway, I'm actually looking forward to this based solely on the box cover. There will be a few copies of this at Gen Con.
I'm all about this one. I really like the look of it.
Muttonbusting.
Well, speaking of liking the look at this next one. Savage Bowl trick-taking game.
Oh, man. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's just take a few minutes. There's a lot to unpack.
What? Is that a football with teeth?
Yes.
On the right-hand side there?
It's also what looks to be some fish with baseball bats, or lizards, or dinosaurs. I'm not sure.
What is this?
Anyway, this is from Ninja Star Games and Burikeke Games. It's designed by Yurio. I guess that's a pseudonym.
Yes, a lot of Japanese designers do use like sort of pseudonyms.
It's a trick-taking game that takes place in the fictitious reptilian sport Savage Bowl.
I love it.
You got me.
So in this game, whoever plays in the first 5 tricks, whoever plays the strongest gets a yellow card, which means they have to discard a card from their hand and then sit out the next trick.
Okay.
The second strongest card takes the trick and leads the next one.
Okay.
Starting from the 6th trick, the game plays like a normal trick-taking game, and whoever plays the strongest card wins both the tricks and leads. So you want to win a certain number of tricks based on player count, and if you do, you earn a number of points equal to the current round number.
I don't know why what distinction between the first half and the second half, but
Yeah, I don't know what
guess
yellow
it'll
cards do.
I guess it'll make sense.
Oh, a yellow card maybe?
Yeah.
Like an actual yellow suit.
No,
card.
like in sports.
Like-
Yeah, no, I
Soccer?
got that reference. Yellow
Oh.
card, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just don't know.
Like save all your strongest cards at a second?
Guess. Well, you might not want to win all the tricks.
That's
They're saying
true.
you want to maybe not, you want to win a certain number of tricks. That
Yeah.
cover is weird. Like this
That's way
game
too much
makes
going on.
me like I'm slightly uncomfortable looking at the cover.
I love it, but I don't think anyone. I think some people make. I'm glad it says trick-taking game big. That might fool some people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are the minis? I'll wait for the red card expansion.
Speaking of trick-taking games, this next game, Hoond, is from Korean publisher Board M Factory. This is a reprint or a new version of an older trick-taking game called Ebbs, E-B-B-E-S.
I know that game. I used to own that game. Very rare little trick-taking game from
Ebbs?
that I picked up in Essen.
And
It
flowed?
originally came out in 2013, so it's 10 years later.
Yes.
So
Yeah, so in this game, you don't begin with any of the usual things like which one is Trump, what beats what. There's a lot of things you don't begin with knowing. And as you play cards, those things are decided. Like what
Oh.
suit will score you positive points. You don't know that yet when you begin the hand. You set that as you go. Which suit do you want to avoid? You set that as you go through the hand. It's a really clever, bizarre little game. The Ebbs edition of it was not really a looker. This looks to be, I don't like the theme, but I like the graphic design there.
you don't like dogs?
I don't, dogs are fine,
And
but,
camels?
put pants on, please.
I agree with that.
All right, I feel like there's a double standard for humans and pet dogs, but all right. All right, this next game is from Funforge, Rune Masters. So I like the cover of this one a lot. It looks a bit like a
Ooh.
throwback cover, but with modern art.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is a 1-4 cooperative tower defense game from first-time designer Antoine Prono.
Oh, wow, you said Antoine. I'm like, I was already in my mind thinking, this is kind of like Ghost Stories Tower Defense.
Right.
And then you said Antoine, and I'm like, hold up.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Well, you're
Very
working together
interesting.
as Rune Masters, protecting the Temple of Mankind against the forces of evil.
Yeah.
New monsters spawn on the board and advance toward the temple.
Yeah.
They're cards. You'll roll 4 unique device, the Rune Masters, and combine them in ways to attack enemies, move around, and prevent stuff. I hope that's as cool as it sounds. Like, hey, we roll these 4 dice. Let's combine them to do a special attack. That'd be neat.
Yeah.
I like the look of it a lot.
I
think
do
that
too.
cover is awesome. Very action-packed. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Anything fantasy and tower defense. Huge box. I want a huge box with it, though.
Okay.
Don't listen to Joey. All right, next we have Yila. This is from North Star Games. It is a solo story-driven game. It's from the same designers who brought you Age of Galaxy and Terrorscape.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So it's a solo game set in a mystical world with a strong interactive story arc played through 5 chapters. There's a lot of replayability because the game went in different ways. This is Ella and Something Shiny is coming to retail in August.
Kids game?
Maybe. It doesn't say anything about age or anything. It does seem weird this is coming from North Star. To me, has kind of an identity crisis when it comes to their games.
Lately,
Yeah.
especially. They used to have one of the strongest identities.
They were like amazing party games.
Yeah.
Wits and Wagers.
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
yeah,
Say,
yeah.
say anything.
anything.
I mean, they had like their party games. They were kind of like now Repos makes those little party games.
Yeah.
And they have a strong identity with that line. These guys were doing that,
And then they
Really?
switched to Evolution.
and they evolved to make games like this.
But also, Evolution. The final game in the Evolution series is coming from North Star Games called Nature. I don't have a box cover for you, but I have an awesome picture of a tiger versus a bear with a cub on their back. The bear is going to win. Because I normally would root for the tiger, but when you're protecting a cub,
Right. The bear has
agree.
higher stakes.
right.
Yep.
Also, in that picture itself, it looks like the tiger's going, oh, I'm out.
Yeah. Those claws are big on that,
That bear
too.
looks mad.
Yeah, that's...
Is this from the game?
Or is it a random picture? That's what I'm
The
wondering,
picture you
too.
found, yeah.
You just grabbed a
Let me
picture.
look here. It says, this is This is a version of the game. It's actually
Nature.
That bear's like part Wolverine, part bear.
this game
Those
is
claws.
actually this might be a new game. It says created by series designer and company owner Dominic Crapuchettes. Nature's an expandable game system where you create and adapt species, taking from what they learned about game design over the past 10 years. It's easier to set up, teach. It's interactive, a gentle experience to new players when their species are inevitably targeted by predators.
Okay.
There's already 2 expansions in development, Jurassic and Fight. Vincent Dutrait is doing the art for Jurassic.
Oh.
And
I'll wait for Jurassic.
There's another expansion,
Yeah, that's-
Rainforests. This is coming out later this year.
All right.
They're putting a lot of effort into this. Then
Yeah.
like we got a game coming, and there's 2 expansions, and a 3rd is in development.
Yeah. Lorcana who? That's what I say.
It's over already.
Speaking of Lorcana,
no.
Clans
it's a
of
terrible
Caledonia.
transition. No. No, you don't get away with that one.
well, Lorcana, Clans of Caledonia.
You're right. I'm sorry. That's solid.
It does work. That's good
Anyway, Karma
entomology.
Games has the Clans of Caledonia expansion, Industria, which if you fit into the original box, you'll be a magician because you can barely fit the base game of Clans of Caledonia in its box.
But Joey can do it then.
I could do it.
I know, but half the pieces would be gone.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't all fit in there.
Your sleeves will be full of pieces.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, where is...
Put it in the shelf.
But Clans of Caledonia is a very popular game, still being played years later. So I'm sure people look like this one. There's no set release date for this as of this broadcast. But Karma Games also has another game coming out called Peninsula, and I really like the cover of this one.
Ooh.
It's like a magazine.
Oh, yeah. It's Art Deco kind of vibe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this game, you're drawing a map of it's a flip and right. You're drawing a map of a fictional island. You have an architect token, and anytime you want to draw the map, you have to be adjacent to that token. So you're drawing symbols on your map, or you can offer them to your competitors to draw.
Okay.
Again, no release date for this, but that sounds interesting, and I really like that cover.
The artwork is nice.
Now, I've never heard of Karma Games. Is this a new company or just someone
No,
I'm
he just
unaware
made a
of?
few games. Clans of Caledonia is his biggest release. Before that, he did one called, I think, Green Deal. And
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And he might have made one since, but that Clans of Caledonia has been the big thing.
Got it.
Wait, they did I'll just look it up. What's the Karma Games?
Karma Games.
Karma Games has done Clans of Caledonia, Green Deal. Those are the top 2. And Millennia, Peninsula, Thiefdom, Fet, Earned. That didn't get many. Yeah, it's mostly just Clans of
mainly
Caledonia and
Clans of
Green Deal.
Caledonia.
And then there's Peninsula, Thiefdom, and Millennia. Millennia is a new game from them that I know is coming out this year. It's like a Civ game. So he's like, back.
Okay. Yeah, this one looks good.
All right. Do you like Terraforming Mars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you prefer to play with no one?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you can play the app. Or you can buy the new upcoming
Really?
Terraforming Mars Otama. Although they said the subtitle might end up becoming Marsbot, which I think would be a better...
I love how this word, Otama, has now become synonymous with solo mode.
Yes.
That was a Stonemeyer thing, wasn't it? Like,
I don't know. Stonemeyer might... I don't know if he claims the word or not. We'll see. They said it might it might turn into Marsbot, which I think is a better name.
Marsbot.
You like Marsbot more than Otama?
I can't pronounce Otama, ever.
But Marsbot, I don't know about that.
I don't care. I'm not playing Terraforming Mars solo.
Well, no, I don't.
Again, if I wanted to, the app exists. It's so good.
Yeah, I don't know how.
The main difference here is there already is a solo mode where you just were racing against the clock to terraform Mars.
Okay.
Now you would compete against corporations that are run by algorithms and special cards. It's David Turtsey.
Okay.
You know,
got it.
This is his shtick. But hey, a lot of people are probably interested. This is going to be part of their upcoming Kickstarter. Remember I mentioned before, Terraforming Mars Prelude 2, which still makes me laugh. There's another prequel. There's prequel to sequeling.
Prelude to the Prelude.
No, it's the sequel to the Prelude.
Sequel to the Prelude.
Anyhow, this is, I think, one of the stretch goals or secret additions to that Kickstarter.
I mean, again, people I'm sure will eat this up.
Do you like Risk?
I do not.
Okay, well, now you can play Risk as a card game, which is not the first time this has been done. Guess what? Not even the third time this has been done.
There's been quite a few Risk
There's been quite a few
games.
Risk card games. This is a 20-minute one. This is called Risk Strike.
Well, that's the first time.
It's coming from Avalon Hill. I looked it up on Board Game Geek already because I was curious about this, and it does not say it's a redone fashion of one of the older ones.
Designer. That's the big stickler there for me.
Uh,
I think the best Risk game.
Legacy.
This Legacy is certainly very, very good. And then there was a small one. I'm thinking like the small ones. There was a Risk dice game. There was a Knizia game.
Really?
And then it became that Age of War game.
Okay.
It's the same game, but it first came out as a Risk tie-in.
there's 3 designers, George, David, and Leo, and all 3 of them, the only other game they seem to have done is Clue Treachery at Tudor Mansion.
Okay.
You can get this game right now on Amazon. I know this because there's one winging its way towards us because I am very curious about this.
It looks kind of cool.
20 minutes?
20 minutes.
I like that.
The worst thing that happens is you played a 20-minute bad game.
To us, yeah, the worst thing that happens
happens a
to
lot.
you is you spend money on it.
Is it true?
Yeah, it isn't cheap either. It's like
Really?
$20. That doesn't feel. I feel it's overpriced for a little card game.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's a risk.
All right.
I'm excited for that. I'll give that a go right now.
Do it.
Well,
Let's
that's
leave.
Right now.
The doorbell rings. Amazon's getting better and better.
They're listening.
It's that drone.
All right, this game seems fun. Turbo Kids, which seems like the sequel to
That.
Jingle All the Way.
Wait, what's
Oh.
happening? I think I get it.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, no.
So you have your hand on my thumb and you're controlling me?
Oh, if that's what it is, that's
Like
great.
I gotta go like this, and I draw this way, and then you go forward, and I draw this forward. So that's amazing.
I do like that idea. Is that what it is?
That's
Yes.
gotta be what
Yes.
it
One
is.
player is blindfolded. Another player grasps their thumb like a retro arcade joystick. Together, the pair must attempt to steer their car around each of Turbo Kid's 16 courses with the blindfolded player drawing a literal drawing line on the board using a dry white pen as their co-pilot moves their thumb and provides directions out loud.
That is gonna be
This is wonderful.
so awkward at conventions.
This is
It is
so
not
good.
the first time this... I found the game Captain Clueless. I don't know if you remember that game.
Yeah.
Which was where one captain would draw a line on a map. They were blindfolded and everyone else gave them directions. Didn't have the thumb part to it, though.
That makes this game, though.
The only thing this is missing is an expansion where the opposing team is whispering in your ear very closely. You're gonna fail. You're doing horribly. Oops! You're going off the trail. You're going off the. Oh, you're gonna crash.
Or like a When I Dream, where there's like one trader yelling out the
It's
wrong
a
direction.
Discord expansion.
Ah.
You suck.
Oh.
All right, anyway, this is
I
coming
like
from Scorpion Mass, so they're going to sell a ton of this one.
That's cute.
This is
I like
good.
that.
This is Gen Con?
I'll tell you what, Joe. If it's not a Gen Con, you and I will still play this. At
says
Gen
later
Con.
this
We will.
year.
We will make our own.
Yeah. Print
All
and
right.
play. This is when you would print and play.
I would definitely print
Speaking
play
of
this.
making board games, that's a new documentary, which was the first episode was just released on YouTube. Making board games from CGE. So if you want to know, it's a CG documentary. It's an 8-episode series, and I think it was like 40 minutes the first one.
Ooh, who's that gentleman there with the hat?
I'm in it
That
for all
guy.
of. I recorded a clip to send to them. It is not particularly long, so I cannot imagine I'm in it much at all. But it's nice that they put me in that thumbnail there.
How about the guy with the mini hats that was in the magazine yesterday?
You shut up. Most of it, I skimmed through the first episode just seeing what it looked like. It's mostly them talking to both Vladik Vatil and the owner of the company, whose name I'm blanking on right next to him there.
Now,
They also have the guy from Big Bang Theory is in the
Which
Kevin
one?
Sussman. He's the comic store owner. Oh, he's right
Oh.
there in the middle. See him?
oh yeah. Okay, so are these letters taken from actual board game titles? 'Cause if
Yes.
so, are
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
like to be able to pin those down. With
Yeah, so it's the M is from
Code names.
Code Names,
Boom.
and
the A is from Age of.
then the G is from their game with the tunnels, and then the A is Kashgar. I'm
The
talking. I'm
first
looking
A.
at the word games.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely from their games.
That's
Age of
nice.
Empires is that second
yep.
A, yeah, the A in board. Adrenaline is the last D there. Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
All right, cool. And finally, the biggest news of the week, the Spiel des Jahres. Winners were announced, and for once, I was very good with my predictions. I predicted both of the Spiel and the Kenner Spiel winners. That's the first time it's happened in 10 years, so you should always listen to me.
Always.
I'm 100% accurate, as of last year.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dorf Romantic won the Spiel des Jahres award. Challengers won the Kenner Spiel award. Incidentally, it's a little interesting because I don't think the difference in complexity between the two of them is all that much. Like, I think challengers could be nominated for the Spiel, honestly.
Yeah.
But either way, congrats to the winners in the kids game Mysterium Kids. This is the first year that we've played all the winners. Well, I haven't played all three, but Chris played Mysterium Kids.
I haven't played any of these, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think you would like challengers.
I haven't heard that many good things about the kids game. I haven't heard of.
I don't
or I've
think
heard of, but
challengers.
I wouldn't be interested. Challengers and Dorf Romantic. I haven't heard particularly good things.
I wasn't crazy about Dorf Romantic.
I like challengers, but I don't think you would.
Okay.
It's basically a game where you build a deck of cards and then you just play war against somebody else. For
I
a
might
while.
like that. I mean,
It's very, very light. Dorf Romantic is a cooperative game in which you
Like a
draw.
puzzle.
It's like Carcassonne. You draw a tile, and everyone is like, "We should put it here," and then you get a certain amount of points. There's no win or loss condition. Depending on how many points you get, you can check off boxes. You check off a certain amount of boxes. You unlock new conditions to make your score higher. It's.
Okay.
I found it to be a fine experience, but not much of a game. But I could see people really liking it.
okay.
Just
Yeah.
not for me, but we'll see. They'll be sold everywhere. Challengers 2 has already been announced, so that's going to be out, and Dorf Romantic will probably have expansions come out for it, because that
Absolutely.
almost always happens for these winners.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, well, that, folks, is the news.